my heart, sports talk with Mike. It's Wednesday, it snowed like crazy, and I am exhausted. Hell yeah, I'm exhausted. I deserve a beer, or 15 beers to be exact. I need to relax or something. Enough about me. Into the sports world. Did you watch the Edmonton Oilers play the Nashville Predators the other night? Did you see Kostitsyn not back check and the Oilers score on a 2-on-1 during the penalty kill? If you didn't watch it, you need to YouTube that right now. YouTube it after you watch my video. Or just open up another tab and watch it. Pause me, it's okay. Alright, so you're back. So, if you watched it, is he being lazy? Hell yeah, he's completely being lazy. Like, what is his problem? Why would he not back check? He must have not thought that it was a 2-on-1. He probably figured it was a 1-on-1, but still, why? Why not make it a 1-on-2? It just makes no sense to me. I'd rip into him more, but Alexander Ovechkin has done it about 6 or 7 times this year, and the opposing team has scored about 6 or 7 times each time. So, I mean, I don't know what happened there. Nashville made him a healthy scratch, which isn't going to do shit. He needs to be suspended, traded, demoted. Something needs to be imposed, because that's just that's a blatantly that's like giving up on your team, and you can't have that happen. You can't have that the energy around your team. So because I am exhausted from shoveling, I have a huge ass driveway. It's just going to be an easy day. I'm going to just something I found fascinating. I was just thinking about it the other day. Is how many players that were drafted by the team. So just for example, we'll go Matt Duchene, Colorado. Colorado drafted him. He's still playing for them. I'm just like, how many players are still playing for the team that drafted them? So I looked into it, and there's some big names that are playing for other teams that weren't the teams that ended up drafting them. And I thought it was interesting. So I'm going to go through that. And I'm also going to give you my feelings on why Canada did not advance in the World Baseball Classic, and if I ever think that they will win a World Baseball Classic. Last night was an incredible game, a nice pitch and duel, rain-filled game at AT&T Park in San Francisco. The Dominican Republic versus Puerto Rico, with the Dominican Republic coming out on top. So I'm just in the mood for baseball, and baseball season's coming up, and either tomorrow or Friday it's going to be, I'm going to start breaking down the divisions in baseball, and it's going to be fun and exciting. I love it. So first up, the players and the teams that originally drafted them. So I have a huge list here, so let's get started. Mika Kaprizov in 1995 was drafted by the San Jose Sharks. He eventually was traded to the Flames. Just imagine him in a Sharks uniform. Todd Bertuzzi, he's probably, like most athletes, he's my most hated athlete due to the Vancouver, Colorado incident. In 1993, he was drafted by the New York Islanders. Tom Gilbert of the Minnesota Wild, he was traded to Minnesota by the Edmonton Oilers. In 2002, he was drafted by my Colorado Avalanche. He's a decent defenseman. Paul Bissonnette, Biz Nasty, Bizzer. I think I just came up with that last nickname. He was originally drafted by the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2002. He'd be a force in Pittsburgh. I love him in Pittsburgh. Wade Redden, drafted by the New York Islanders in 95. I'm seeing a trend here. Roberto Luongo by the Islanders in 97. Tuukka Rask, my Vezina Trophy winner up to this point, was drafted by the Maple Leafs in 2005. Imagine the Maple Leafs with Rask and net. Wow. That's all I can say. Tim Thomas was drafted by the Quebec Nordiques in 94. He's one of those. I imagine him still in Colorado, but no. Daniel Briere was drafted by the Phoenix Coyotes in 96. Like, I knew most of them. Kaprizov, I knew he played for the Sharks. I didn't know he was drafted. Bertuzzi, I did not know about Gilbert or Bissonnette. Redden, Luongo, Rask, I did not know about Thomas or Briere. I thought Briere was drafted by Buffalo. So that's the NHL. That's just exciting. Now the NBA, which actually was even more mind-blowing for me. Dirk Nowitzki of the Dallas Mavericks was drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks. What the hell? Vince Carter, drafted by the Golden State Warriors. Wow. Paul Gasol, Atlanta Hawks. I just can't imagine him in that jersey. Metta World Peace was drafted by the Chicago Bulls. Marc Gasol, Paul Gasol's brother, was drafted by the Lakers. And when Paul went to the Lakers, Mark went to Memphis Grizzlies. Kevin Love was drafted by the Memphis Grizzlies and then traded to Minnesota. I'm pretty sure on draft day. Rajon Rondo, the Boston Celtic, was drafted by the Phoenix Suns. And Joe Johnson, playing for Brooklyn, was drafted by the Boston Celtics. And Roy Hibbert was drafted by the Toronto Raptors. They gave him up to get Jermaine O'Neal. Raptors, you suck. Moving on to baseball, Andre Ethier of the Dodgers was drafted by the Oakland Athletics and traded to the Dodgers. AJ Burnett, now with the Pittsburgh Pirates, was originally drafted by the New York Mets. Adam Wainwright, he threw that strike to win the Cardinals the World Series back in, I want to say 06. He was drafted by the Atlanta Braves. Gio Gonzalez plays for the Washington Nationals right now, formerly of the Oakland Athletics. He was drafted by the Chicago White Sox. Adam Jones, the outfielder for the Baltimore Orioles, was originally the Seattle Mariners owned by them, sorry. Travis Hafner, longtime Indian, now New York Yankee. Texas Rangers. And Michael Young, he's now with the Phillies, played for Texas. He was just a durable, amazing baseball player. Was drafted by the Blue Jays. And that's just, wow. Like, these players are phenomenal players. And just imagine them playing for the teams that drafted them. And the last one, NFL. Michael Turner by the San Diego Chargers. Eli Manning by the San Diego Chargers. Phillip Rivers by the New York Giants. Wow. So Rivers and Manning were pretty much swapped on draft day. And just imagine Rivers in a Giants jersey and Manning in a Chargers jersey. And then imagine the Chargers playing the Broncos. Just mind-blowing. John Abraham from the Falcons, let go by the Falcons, free agent, Broncos. If you don't get Doomerville, of course. Was drafted by the New York Jets. Jonathan Vilma, he was involved in that whole bounty hunter thing. He was drafted by the New York Jets as well. Peyton Hillis was drafted by my Denver Broncos, and they got Brady Quinn for him. Good job. Brandon Lloyd, he played for my Broncos, and then went over to the Patriots. He was drafted, he went for the Broncos, traded to the St. Louis Rams, then signed by the Patriots, and then the Patriots released him. He was originally drafted by the San Francisco 49ers. And yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just exciting just to see these the teams that drafted them, and just I would love to just see them in a jersey and see how it would have turned out if they weren't traded or played a year or two and then signed elsewhere. I just thought it was exciting. Let's go to the World Baseball Classic. So, there are 147 Canadian professional baseball players signed to Major League contracts, with 17 players on Major League rosters. 17 only on the rosters itself. Like, that's just barely over half. I mean, that's minuscule. Minuscule, like crazy. Like, what is wrong? Like, can Canadians only play hockey? Why aren't there more Canadians in baseball itself? I mean, a lot of the Canadians that end up in the major leagues turn out to be quite good. Joey Votto, MVP. Justin Morneau, MVP. Eric Gagne won a Cy Young. And then Ferguson Jenkins, if you guys ever heard of him, he's the only Canadian in the Baseball Hall of Fame. Larry Walker won an MVP. And also Jenkins won a Cy Young in 1971. So there's Canadians that they win awards, and it's the Canadians that do make it to the pros. They are pretty decent. But why can't we win in the World Baseball Classic? Now here's some notables that weren't on this year's team. Blake Hawksworth of the LA Dodgers. Scott Richmond, Mike Nikakis, George Koteris, Jeff Francis, Scott Diamond. Diamond plays for the Minnesota Twins. Ryan Dempster, Jesse Crane, Eric Bedard, Jason Bay. I don't know if some of them weren't asked or some of them just declined. I don't get it. These are pretty good players. They really are. And what's wrong with having just that veteran presence? I mean, even if you have Jason Bay coming off the bench, like if you needed him. I mean, Jesse Crane, Eric Bedard, Jeff Francis, Ryan Dempster, Scott Diamond, Scott Richmond. Like, imagine having them in your bullpen or starting a game for you. I mean, that's what you needed. What was wrong with this team was that they were young and inexperienced in a pressure-like situation. James Taillon threw a great game against the States, and then once you take him out, it's like the inexperience just arises, and it's like, what are you going to do? It's just they make these mistakes that you can't be making against major league players, and that's the issue. I mean, they have great young players. Ahmad, he's got potential. Like, potential is amazing. But once he needs his command and control, and I'm pretty sure he plays for the Phillies. Jimmy Henderson for the Brewers, he had 45 strikeouts in 30 innings pitched. And then Leroux, he's struggled in his 10 games, but he has really nice command. And then James Taillon, it's just like they have the young talent and it's there, but they don't have the veteran presence that is needed. They don't have the guys to have, the young guys that have an ear to, like, should I do this in this particular situation? And then the older guys kind of giving them just some advice, like, come, like, just take a breath, just things that are needed. That's why you need a veteran, and I don't know if they declined or not, and I hope they didn't, because it's just to represent your country. And I know you have an obligation. I mean, you don't dream to be in the World Baseball Classic. You don't. Your dream isn't to put on your the Team Canada jersey. You want to be in the majors, and I understand that. But it's an honor. It's when you look as a Canadian. I'm proud to have these Canadians in the major leagues, but I want Canada to come out on top. I don't care if the Phillies are that coming on top. I want my team, Team Canada. That's the team I always want to come out on top. Whether it be hockey or baseball. I mean, basketball. I mean, it's shitty. It's basketball, but they're coming together. Tristan Thompson, Andrew Nicholson, and then Andrew Wiggins is coming up. So it's like that's starting, and that's what I'm seeing with Canada. But they need that, like, the next baseball classic. I think it will be better. These younger guys will have more experience. Some of the guys that were on the team, like Morneau and Votto, hopefully they'll be back, and it's just that they can kind of be more of a vocal presence. I mean, what I hated was Russell Martin. Why not just do it in a, like, why not? Like, that just pissed me off. But Robinson did great behind the plate, and he was awesome in the box. He did a great job, and I mean, some unlucky and unfortunate injury to Brett Lowry. It's just, I mean, that of course hurt. But Taylor Green did pretty good. I made a couple of gaps in the field, but I mean, for me, what happened to us was like this year was Ernie Whitt. Nothing wrong with Ernie Whitt. It's just that some of his decisions that he made were very questionable, leaving pitchers in longer than he should have, or making a change too soon, or the pitchers that he put in the matchups, they weren't working in Canada's favor. And then when he made the changes, leaving someone in to get rocked for 5 runs, just, it felt, I don't know, it felt like it was a more laid-back approach, and I think Larry Walker would do a lot better job, and I think Walker would be like a hard-ass guy. So I think that really hurt us. I mean, Gillies, like he had a lot of 15 Gillies in the outfield, which was great. But your leadoff hitter not getting on base, that's gonna hurt your team. You need that guy. You need that jump start guy. And then Cale Org at the bottom of the order, he didn't really have anything. He didn't have any pop. I mean, even defensive. Yeah, I mean, defense is great. You need defense to win, But at the same time, you need runs, you need guys to get on base, and those guys weren't cutting it. I mean, you should have realized that. I mean, you should have shaken up the lineup, and I know it was hard to do so when you didn't have a lot of guys on the bench, but make a change. Just attempted to see. I mean, before the States game, you should have took Gillies out of the lineup. Maybe like, and I don't know. Maybe he needed his confidence back. Maybe he needed a kick in the ass. I don't know. But it just from the coaching decisions made by Witt, I did not foresee us going to the next round. And I don't know. I mean, even if they were to face, say, the Dominican Republic or Puerto Rico in the finals, I can't fathom a win. I don't see it as a possibility. Just the decisions that Witt would go with would probably just steer me clear of any hope of that. But the next baseball classic, I think, will be one for Canada, and I think it will be fantastic. I can't wait for that to happen. It's just, I foresee a possibility to go to a finals as long as they bring a veteran presence, and the guys that are Canadian show up. They feel honored, and they just want to put that jersey on and play for their country, and that's what it's all about. So that's it. That's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed some crazy information about the draft and my thoughts on the World Baseball Classic. If you have any thoughts, feel free to comment and let me know. I would appreciate it. I hope you enjoy shoveling if you have snow. I hope you enjoy the sun if you have sun. I hope you enjoy your beers, because I know I will. And I hope the rest of your day goes amazing. But that's it. I want to thank you for watching My Brain, My Heart, Sports Talk with Mike. That's it, folks.